Queenzflip has been missing from the Joe Budden podcast for I feel like it's been a little bit over a week.
It's been like 3. It's been like two weeks for sure.
3?
I think this Wednesday. If he's not this Wednesday, it'll be 3.
Okay, got
Well, you know we love speculation. Let's fuck it.
Yeah, so 3 weeks he hasn't been there, and everybody's wondering. And most of the time, when somebody's not there, it always gets mentioned or brought up. And at this point, it's not coming up at all. A lot of people are wondering: did Queenzflip get fired? Did he get suspended? Joe has finally addressed it, but it took him like a week and a half to 2 weeks to even address.
Right.
And all he said in the address was Queenzflip did not get fired.
Yeah.
And I believe him.
Yeah.
Joe Budden doesn't waste a good firing.
Nah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't take that lightly. Like, nigga,
You don't
that's
think he's
like
elevated past that?
Like
he's elevated
nigga,
past
he
that,
walks up to the diving board like, can't wait to do this shit. And like, you see what form I'm gonna use.
He's not just gonna fire a nigga and let it go without making some type of content.
Like, he's got to talk to the indie chair.
Yo, somebody asked that question: is Queenzflip suspended?
Well, people are
It's
just
a little disrespectful, right?
Has anybody been suspended from the Joe Budden podcast?
Yo.
Like,
Yeah,
you can't
they have. They've
expel
been
me,
suspended
nigga.
before.
Suspended?
Yeah, he's suspended Queenzflip before.
But
Isn't that always straight? It's like you always forget they're running an operation over there until somebody gets just put on
it's
time.
like, hey, buddy,
and
Yeah.
I think it
You
has
don't
only
gotta
been
come back here
it has
for a
only been
little
2
while.
weeks because the last time he was there was June 5th.
Okay, so it's been 2 weeks.
June
Okay.
they've been uploading like older episodes.
No,
They're running.
It's business as
Yeah, no, they're
usual.
low.
It's just
Yeah,
not
they
there.
M4 just be telling the same stories.
Yeah, but
it feels
it's
that way.
But something that Tax said also on the Spaces is that Queenzflip isn't there because Joe likes him. He's there because Joe signed a slave deal to some brothers in Queens, and one of the brothers of that record label is Queenzflip's brother, and he's up there off of a favor, and off of a favor / debt owed
/ extortion.
That's what Tax
Maybe,
Stone said.
allegedly.
Well, that kind of plays into what Queens used to say when he was like, I needed some help. I was in a situation. Joe brought me up here. He kind of said some shit like that when he first got on there.
So it's kind of
That
like
kind of feeds into that narrative a little bit.
Exactly. It's kind of like an Egyptian wedding. It's like nobody planned this shit. This was orchestrated.
That's the thing about
Is that a
Egyptian
thing?
weddings.
Yeah,
Is that-
yeah.
what
Egyptian
you
weddings.
seem to be an expert on this.
Executed.
I'm not an
Yeah.
expert, but I'm in
Educated.
touch with motherland and like you COO
So that's your motherland.
What Cleopatra
I
looking
thought it was
bitch told you
Dominican
that?
Republic.
I don't believe
I
that.
thought your motherland was the DR.
Nah, man, I'm not Afro-Latino. I'm Afro-African, nigga. But nah, for real. Like, that's in Egyptian culture, yeah, they pardoning off princesses and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of that.
Okay, so yeah,
Y'all was like, nah, nigga, enlighten me. Like, damn, I thought we all watched National Geographic.
I mean, we do, but I missed that episode.
Yeah, for sure, nigga.
Y'all ain't watch the Cleopatra special,
Because
nigga.
none of us were on the same. We were all like, please inform us.
Come on, man.
He ain't never heard this before.
But
But
when Alexander came, huh?
let's watch this. Damn,
Julius
that
Caesar.
Tax saying that a debt was owed or something. That's the only reason why he's up there. Is something that's new. We're talking. This is day one of the Twitter space. So Danny has a video of Joe addressing it and things like that. We'll watch that now. But
so Joe's been asked about this before.
He's been asked, yeah. So we're gonna go through this. Here.
Sadly.
What type of? And just one more. So Joe Budden allegedly, unfortunately, signed a deal with two
brothers.
Which race are these brothers?
Flip's race.
Which race
Black.
are these brothers?
Flip's race, right?
Flip is black, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they're black.
I don't know, nigga. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. I just know it's two brothers.
Queenzflip has Jamaican heritage.
Okay, yeah. So he's Jamaican. So
Boo.
he's apparently he signed a deal back in the music days, and this is just some old shit. This is a relationship that you can't. It's like a
He
relationship
got a
you
roster
can't-
contract.
that you can't shake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How is that even possible?
That's kind of deep.
no. Joe, the record deals back then was it. That was what it was. Back
It was
then.
package deals, nigga.
Bro, back in the day before the internet was the music, the pipeline.
Yeah.
Niggas, a lot of people had a local person sign them, and a local person had them in a deal that brought them to a major before we heard about
exactly.
them. Which is the same situation that happened with Future and Rocco. Is it Rocco? The She Ain't Even Know It song?
Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. And,
Rick Ross. Was it Rocco?
Nah, I don't think so.
Fuck is that nigga's that?
You're not talking
I
about
don't think
Roscoe.
What was
Future was
that
on that
nigga's-
song. You talking about you're not talking about
I
No
know-
Hands, right?
No, I'm talking
Why the
about
Flock.
Put Molly on Her Champagne song.
Genie knew.
I don't think Future was.
Future wasn't on there.
No,
I'm
that's Future.
But who was that artist though?
It was a song. Yeah, it was Rocco.
Okay.
Rocco,
Rocco
yeah.
featuring. Yeah. It was Rocco.
Rocco had Future in a deal like that. Rocco had Future in a deal. After Future, when Future went on that run, that Dirty Sprite run,
That's what racks on racks on racks
of like
came
8
from.
mixtape, the nigga let him drop like Future dropped like 10 mixtapes, then Rocco sued him.
So that's why Future wasn't trying for so many of them projects, nigga.
Yeah, so that was a thing. He did an interview at the Breakfast Club and everything, and I feel like it was a Breakfast Club, and I feel like Charlamagne said like verbatim when he was like, "So you had Future in that deal the whole time, so you just let him drop all them projects, just waited for him to be done, and then just said, now I need my get back." And he was like, "I mean, that's legally that's what you're supposed to." Like he had some cold shit to say. You
it's
know
like
what I'm saying?
shoplifting at a store. They don't get you on the first infraction.
Let's just go ahead and
stack
build
it up.
We gotta
Stack it
tally
up.
up this tally.
Yeah.
When Nike did debate.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was one of them situations. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
But let's watch this.
Joe Budden says he didn't fire Queenzflip, but is he telling the truth?
And Flip is not fired. Like, what? Who said Flip was fired? Why would you think Flip is fired? But why can't somebody not be there without people having to explain things to y'all? Would y'all like to know in advance when someone's being fired? Like, should I announce when someone's being fired or something? Like, what are y'all talking about?
For the people out there that keep wondering, Flip is not fired.
That's right. On a recent episode of the Joe Budden podcast, Joe Budden decided to dispel the rumors of Queenzflip being fired. However, could something else be going on? Is it possible that he has been suspended? Now, this has all happened as a result of this awkward exchange that he had with Melissa Ford. This was very weird. It was something where Queenzflip asked Melissa Ford why she hasn't come out and talked about her instance of sexual abuse or harassment in the music industry. Now, that's a whole other conversation that we need to have, and I will break down this clip at the end of this video. But I'm wondering if instead of Flip being fired, was he suspended? Now, there's a lot of reasons to think this. He has been really quiet about whatever has happened, and usually in the past, Queenzflip has spoken out loudly about what may be going on. Also, is it possible that he's not speaking about what happened because he is under some type of NDA where he can't speak about the dynamics of the show? I don't know, it just seems odd. There's also other theories that people might have as well. It could also be that he is taking his PTO, paid time off, and using this as a leverage tactic to display his value to the show. I mean, when he was absent, a lot of people were like, "Where's Flip? What happened to Flip?" And when Ice is absent, it's not usually the case. People are just okay with it. Versus where Ish is absent, everybody's upset. So it seems like a hierarchy is starting to be established of people who matter to the show the most. I would say at the top of that is Ish. Then after that is Flip. And I know a lot of people hate Flip. A lot of people are happy when he's gone. But it's better to be hated than to, you know, have people feel indifferent about you like Ice or even Immani. Nowadays, Immani isn't necessarily somebody people look forward to. I kind of see an indifference being built up with people who listen to the show in terms of his presence. But could it be possible that...
Shout that fucking
Manny
picture.
started off real strong.
It's slowed down quite a bit.
And Manny's been he's been on for like the last
6 months.
like
6 months.
Nigga, I've been seeing him constantly.
Yeah.
Handy Manny.
He really assumed the role of a podcaster.
Like
really
it's-
quickly.
really quickly. Like he saw his opening.
He took to that
Like,
shit
nigga,
he
what?
took to that shit.
Yeah, and it's almost like it's like he's taking the journalist approach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Elliot Wilson route.
Yeah, like he's taking it serious. That's what I mean.
That's what you
It's
mean.
a real
Okay.
professional career.
Oh yeah, he jumped in like speaking like a veteran podcaster. Quickly.
Yeah, nah.
But
It's like-
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think
But he had skill.
he be crashing out. He unhinged too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? Like he crashes out kind of regularly.
What? Would you call it a crash out or mainly just
His crash. He has levels to his crash out too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like
so it's not just a beige rage type of thing.
no.
It's deeper.
I
He
think
had-
that might be the essence, though.
He had beige rage off. Yeah, that's always the underlining. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's the-
That's always
with
humming.
them, with
the
them
foundation.
with those
Yeah.
people, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do you like to call him?
The one that he really went crazy on was the Rocky Thunder one. That he lost his goddamn mind on that shit.
Yeah, he be going off on the spaces, right? That's where he be
He
kind of going crazy.
That's where he loses himself.
That's where he loses. Yeah.
That's where he loses
That's where-
himself.
yeah.
He
So,
does
like,
kind of
he
off on random shit.
It be you never know when it's coming.
Like when I think they was talking about what the fuck was they talking about?
That's why that nigga
artists
is funny to me.
They was talking about big artists doing interviews. And it's just like he just completely didn't understand what the fuck Elliot was talking about or how that could possibly be important to have a classic interview in your repertoire.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, I'm trying to even think of an example. What's a classic interview from an artist? Not even an artist, but like Dame Dash, the Chatty Patty Breakfast Club interview.
Facts.
That's classic.
Okay. Yeah,
that's always
facts.
gonna be a part of the lexicon of Dame Dash.
Yeah, and the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel like Immani can pretty quickly get to like from talking about the issue to we can settle it with hands too. Like it goes from like 0 to 100 pretty quick.
Did he do that with us? Nigga, like he did that with us.
Exactly.
It goes pretty fast, bro.
It's the proper crash shout. It's like somewhere in the crash shout, there's a moment of self-reflection. Like, nigga, I might be wrong for this shit. But fuck you, nigga.
Yeah, nigga.
Even us, but he took to it so quickly. He did ours the most professionally. They asked him about us on Twitter Space. He was like, "Yeah, I think them dudes are some talented pussies." Like, you know, I don't think they can fight for real, but you know, but
they're good at podcasting.
But I fuck with their content, but they're some talented pussies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, but he handled it good. It was great for content. He's at
polarity.
The point, now that these 6 months have passed, the allure, like the allure of we got a new vibrant podcast and the Joe Budden thing has wore off.
Faded off, yeah.
The beige rage it might just lash out at the
He's just all yin. He don't got no yang.
Like a
balance
strike, like just.
That nigga. That's why I also find presidential Immani funny.
Okay.
Because that's him fighting the beige.
That's him fighting who he is.
So like after the Rocky crash out, he went State of the Union speech the next day. I was like,
that nigga was out
I
shocked.
said, this nigga Immani is something else, bro.
Yeah.
That shit was funny to me. Like,
when he's trying to clean it, when he's trying to clean it up, bro.
He's presidential nigga. Oh my god.
Diplomatic.
That nigga, bro. That nigga turned into a fucking politician, and it gets me every time.
And
bro.
he be tackling all his points while
years.
like tackling the people with the rebuttals that you could come back at. He's hitting everything in one speech, nigga. It's like you can't say shit to what I'm saying about this because I know what you're gonna say, and that's not what I meant. Like, it's like
that's what I'm saying.
He's
taking the journalist approach. It's like he's thinking about it in 4 dimensions.
That nigga's out of
the
control.
Reddit responses,
That
the
shit's
YouTube
amazing.
commenters.
That is a nigga that needs help.
Yeah,
That's a wild nigga,
Go
bro.
deep into.
He's on. I know he's crazy. I know he is. To be able to do that, nigga. That's
just
crazy, nigga.
Well, and it's crazy. Like in a couple months, his crazy could come out.
right.
Now we just talking about his crazy. Yeah, nah.
Oh man, shit is always funny. But yeah, I don't know where Flip is at.
And it's
The
interesting
Taxstone,
because he's
on
been.
vacation.
I just checked. He's been posting on his personal YouTube page for the last 6 days.
Queenzflip is active right now.
Like it's not like he's just not
He's
doing
not
nothing
hiding.
on vacation.
He's
just
dropping
not at Joe
videos.
Budden.
He's doing skit. He's
Yeah.
doing all type of shit.
And granted, you don't know any time when things are recorded because how this content
Could
game
always be
works.
backlog, you know, unless he's doing like an event and we see him live on some, you know.
Yeah.
That's the only time we can really mark him to that time and date. But
There's no way to judge it, but
Yeah.
nigga, things have been posted.
yeah, so it's he ain't slowed down.
I mean, he could have had a back
His-
catalog too, though.
That's what we just said. That
I think
nigga.
his network is I think his network is still dropping on their regular schedule. I don't know if he's been showing up on that because that I haven't seen. Like I haven't seen of his regular shows, The Caller and shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah, he ain't
If
broke no
he's-
plexiglass.
if he's punched some plexiglass or jumped in some drywall, I haven't seen.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's active. Excuse me, that was nasty.
It's all right, man.
But yeah, that's about it. But then the Taxstone thing does raise a pretty interesting point too, where maybe the deal was fulfilled. The debt was paid. The favor was owed.
Nigga said,
Blase,
you got me
blase.
until June.
Maybe it's getting tricky. Maybe it's like, look, we're not negotiating with Ian no more. Joe, you need to come to the house on 167th and Broadway. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
All you gotta do is say that makes
Nigga,
it
just say like 7th Ave, nigga.
Yeah.
Right by the wet market, nigga.
Yeah.
between Notion and Ave. You know what I'm saying? You know, these niggas, they be having their names, nigga.
Yeah, that's a fact.
These
That's
street
a fact.
names. It might be one of them situations, and
Yeah.
that negotiation might take a little bit longer.
It might be in the alley. It
You
might
know?
be some rats.
Yeah, you never know. So, I mean, either way, as long as this isn't backlog catalog, hey, Flip is healthy, man. What else are we gonna ask for? He
Flip
might
is
not
alive.
be. He might not be there, or he might come back. Who fucking knows? But
Would
Flip
y'all How upset would y'all be if like Flip just upped and left? Like,
I wouldn't be upset, but I do like Flip on the show.
put it like this: what would your watch duration look like? Would it change?
No, I'm locking in even more now because I want to see how much is this change.
aftermath.
Yeah, how much is
I need to
changed?
see the aftermath.
Yeah.
How
okay.
bad is it over here?
I
Is
think
it-
subconsciously I've already slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, or let's see the
You're a
let's see
Queenzflip fan.
or let's see the rework. You know what I'm saying? We gotta this. You be rocking
Yeah.
watching the rework in real time.
Yeah, you want to see if a nigga can catch himself,
Does
land on
somebody
his feet.
does somebody morph into a different position within 4 weeks?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
4 stories might get entertaining.
something might happen. You
Might
know,
be some punchlines
one
in there.
person could take a turn personality wise on the
Right.
show and change
Yeah.
the whole thing that might make you forget that his like
His
what he
impact,
brought
yeah.
what he brought to the show was
'Cause
there.
it's a little bit more slack to grab from now. It's like,
one less voice.
I would be
Yeah. Somebody's
curious.
gonna have to talk more.
I would be curious to hear what is said about
Man.
a quote unquote breakup from the Queenzflip perspective. If they did, like, if he's fired or if he's not there no more, I would want to know, like, a year from now what he has to really say about that environment and what it was like for him.
hopefully it doesn't
You know
take
what I'm
that
saying?
long too. But I do feel what you're
You know what I'm
saying.
saying?
I
Yeah.
feel like it was okay if they're doing suspensions. Danny was talking about they got paid time off, vacation days.
Yeah, they got that.
He probably got a year before
got
he can even
HR
say
shit.
anything.
Yeah.
You know, Candace Owens just came back.
Facts.
And that
Yeah.
she was, how long do you think she was out of the count for? Like 3 months?
Yeah, about 2-3.
But
Up to-
About a summer.
About two. It was about two.
yeah,
She had about a summer.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. About 2 to 3 months, she's officially back. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll get, maybe not a year, maybe in 3 months.
For 3 months, something like that.
4
yeah.
months, he's
He'll
like,
speak on it a
Some
little bit.
realistic.
I'm fully done. As y'all can see, this is what I've been doing for the last 4 months. You haven't seen me there. You've seen me here.
Peace.
I don't
It is
even-
what it is.
I don't think it would be anything bad. I think it would be pretty copacetic.
I don't
would.
think me neither. Yeah,
It
it's
We all-
they're not going to have a bad fallout.
No, I don't
and,
think
and
so.
even if it is bad, they're not going to tell us. They're not going to give that to us.
But that's
Why do
what
you
I do
think-
want to hear.
I think maybe they have enough respect for each other, or they just don't want to do that.
Right.
Maybe, but I think a weird thing happens.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I guess it's a respect thing to not have a sloppy fallout with a past employee or a co-host
already
or,
happened once.
or a friend.
Yeah, but it's a weird thing that happens. Like of course they're saying that now because of
Yeah.
what happened to the same niggas in the chairs they're sitting in.
Yeah.
You kind of had to be like, man, it would never be like us. That messy ass shit. But something weird happens when it actually happens. Joe Budden, and I don't want to use your word, low grade narcissist, but Joe Budden does have that personality to where it's like you might just be like, man, fuck it. Let me double all the way down on how bad of a person he was this whole time, just because.
Okay.
Yeah,
in my mind,
Just because that's what's worked for other niggas.
Yeah.
Let me try to confirm all this bias.
Yeah. Do you think that they think Royal Mall can't happen to them? Like
I don't-
firing of an empty chair. That's really what I'm talking about.
If
like,
they do-
Yes.
like the theatrics around it.
If they think that, Justin's right.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like
'Cause, nigga-
this could happen at any moment.
Yeah. And the fact that you think that it couldn't is just ridiculous.
Yeah, me too. So, I'm gonna be real. I don't think they're sitting on the couch thinking that couldn't happen to them.
Yeah, I
don't-
think
I don't
they're-
think that.
they might be aware.
Yeah, I don't
If I really
that.
think about
Man,
We don't
they-
even know the
really
internal
think about it.
conversations that they could be having about themselves.
But they kind of
You
they
know
call
what I
them
mean?
crazy on the show, so they kind of
I was
like
about to say they
understand.
know.
And that's what they say
They know
publicly.
who
So
they know.
imagine,
Though,
imagine real intimate conversations when it's just M4 and Queenzflip sitting on the couch. Like, nigga, was he tripping over you eating them crackers?
And everybody on these couches have known Joe for years. They've known like the
Yep.
worst part of Joe that was like really bad, and they know like the good part of Joe, which is this version.
We've only
For
ever seen
purpose.
Nice Joe. I mean,
We got- yeah.
I love
like
it.
even the way Danny was describing them on one of the spaces, I was like, man, we ain't got manipulative Budden yet.
Yeah, no, yeah, we've been good.
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, when I was in it's okay. This is a real quick sidebar because there is one more thing that we have to like mention in terms of Queenzflip. Just remind me to come back to this: Danny versus Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this Queenzflip thing, there is a narrative. I don't know if Danny's the only one pushing this narrative. He's the only one that I've seen push this narrative, but it was maybe he's on like a break because of a disrespectful conversation he had with Melissa Ford. I watched that conversation like twice. I don't know. Was it that bad of a conversation?
Nah.
What did he say?
I don't know. I guess it was maybe he came off insensitive to
little bit.
a traumatic
Yeah.
situation.
Was this a situation where she walked off?
No. That was
No.
with Ish. We're talking about this is another
Okay,
situation
okay.
with Queenzflip.
It was a wild question.
Oh,
In a way.
about the trauma thing.
yeah, but I don't know. It
But
just
it wasn't
didn't,
wild, but it was just
it
kind
didn't.
of.
it didn't feel like that would be a reason.
Is it
I
wild
don't
enough
know,
to
for me-
repeat the question?
Yeah, he just asked her about like why didn't you share your trauma shit, essentially.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
That's
Why did you not share your trauma?
That's a reasonable question.
Yeah.
It wasn't
It wasn't crazy.
It might have been like the timing and the play.
Especially coming from somebody who doesn't really expose too much of her.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know.
It wasn't crazy, but I can see that.
Suspended though? That doesn't feel like it's suspended.
Nah, not for that. Not for that.
You know what I'm
It'd be for
saying?
something else.
Yeah.
It would be for that.
If Mel was the golden
It would
child.
be for that.
It just I haven't even played into that. Now that might actually be the reason, which is why Danny keeps saying it. But for some reason I just don't buy into that storyline.
What do you think is the legalese behind being suspended on the Joe Budden podcast? Like you still getting your appearance fee?
Oh, that's what you mean.
You're not.
No,
Because I think
That's interesting.
I think the way that he's getting paid is you get paid for your each appearance.
Does that change the dynamic of like how powerful the suspension could be?
It does. It damn
Because
sure
now
does.
it's psychological.
Because if you have a certain amount of money that you think you're about to make next week or over the next 2 weeks, and that has stopped,
You done wrote all your takes. It's like, I'm about to go pod.
you
nigga.
didn't plan certain things around that payment you thought you was going
Like
to get.
buying milk. Nigga.
Right, yeah.
Buying coconut milk.
Yeah,
nigga.
for real. Paying the mortgage,
Yeah.
shit like that. The electric.
That's an interesting power flex.
Yeah. it
Like
could
I
be.
can dock your pay for
Suspension-
tomorrow.
Yeah, it is.
And
So,
like at my whim.
which is kind of crazy.
But
so,
I don't even know if Queenzflip was the type of nigga to even stand for that.
Bro, I'm pretty sure he's been suspended once. But I think it's because he was doing shit to hinder the show. Like, I think that's really the only time he suspends people.
yeah, when you're really just fucking the show up.
When you're
right
fucking
now.
the show up.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he does, I'm pretty sure.
Like, I need you to stop and just watch us for the next 2 episodes. Because you're doing too much for me. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so going back to the the Twitter space thing. So Danny and Joe Budden, they're still kind of like going at it. They call Danny's side of Twitter spaces WeWorks. I don't know exactly what that stands for.
WeWorks.
I don't know. But
That's a
the Joe side is the cool side. And they're also the beta male thing is still going. I was in like a little thing. Niggas was being real petty, you know. Niggas were like, I'm beta, I'm alpha. There's beta niggas in the crowd, you know, all that extra shit, you know. Joe keeps inviting him up to the stage. Danny doesn't go because this is obviously a jumping session. Obviously, so Danny
I'm not
starts
about to get hazed.
Danny starts his own space. So there's a girl in the space. I can't remember what her name is, but she was kind of mad at Danny and his homies that were in there because she like, y'all niggas wasn't standing on business. You know what I'm saying?
with Joe.
With Joe,
Because when he had came in, like before, like everybody in like the Joe Budden spaces, they always have like they always have the cape on when Joe Budden's not around. But as soon as he get around, it's like, yo, Joe Budden, like, was your breakfast okay? Like,
yes. And Danny's space is not that.
Which robe are you
but
wearing?
Long story
Versace
short, there was a bully session from one to the other. So long story short, Danny starts his and he's like, bro, I'm not doing that. Like, bro, I'm not about to go back and forth with this nigga. These is a bunch of niggas. They're literally just trying to roast me. Then Rocky jumps up to the stage. And they pretty much were like, well, fuck it, let's have a Joe Budden hate session or bad session. Rocky niggas start going crazy, nigga. Jameson's going in, Rocky's going in. I'm on the stage for a second, right? As soon as like the first person, I can't even remember what they said about Joe, but it was just, I was like, oh, they hate this nigga right now. I heard somebody say, yeah, Danny, go ahead, get AJ up out of here, man. Because I was on the stage. They was like, hey, Danny, get AJ up out of here. I was like, yeah, take me up the stage because y'all niggas are going crazy right now.
Yeah.
I don't even want my picture with the speaker up underneath it.
So let me just consume.
Yeah. I'm in the audience, my nigga.
be in the shadows.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
This nigga was in the super chat.
Boy, that shit had me crying laughing, nigga. Holy shit. But that's all it for that.
Yeah, Queenzflip is not fire, man.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Yet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they part way soon, though.
Yet is the word.
All right.